Stop scrolling. In the next 40 seconds you will see the only existing footage of Wang Yibo's mother stepping onto a drama set, smiling at the security cam, and then vanishing into thin air. No edit cuts, no CGI, no explanation. Stick around because we've slowed the tape to 0.25x, overlaid infrared, tracked her heat signature frame by frame, and found something the crew refuses to talk about. By the end of this video you'll know the 3 impossible theories that broke Weibo twice in one night, the secret exit tunnel under the Qing dynasty temple, and the one line Yibo whispered when he thought every microphone was off. If you want to be the first in the fandom to crack the code, hit play and don't blink, because at 2:47 the timestamp jumps and she's just gone. Picture this, 4:13 AM on a fog-soaked backlot outside Hungjin World Studios. The moon is a sliced pearl, the kind that makes every shadow look like a jumping scare. A lone CCTV camera, cobwebbed and tilted, stares down a narrow alley between 2 fake palace walls. The red REC light pulses like a heartbeat. Suddenly, heels clicking, Wang Yibo's mother steps into frame. She's wearing a charcoal trench, hair twisted in a low knot, face half hidden by a paper respiratory mask that everyone assumed was just pandemic protocol. She carries a thermal cup that steams like a smoke grenade. She pauses, looks straight into the lens, and does the unthinkable. She smiles the exact closed-lip smile Yibo gives when he's trying not to cry. Then she tilts her head, as if listening to someone we can't see. The timestamp lurches from 4 hours 13 minutes and 7 seconds to 4 hours 13 minutes and 9 seconds, 2 seconds evaporate, and the alley is empty. No footfalls, no slamming door, no fluttering trench coat. Just the cup rolling in a lazy half-circle, spilling cinnamon-colored coffee that curls into the shape of a dragon before the steam dies. The internet detonated. Within 7 minutes the clip was ripped from a private crew Discord, watermarked by 3 different Stan accounts, and racing across Weibo at 1.2 million reposts per hour. Hashtag #IboMom vanish shot past #BTS Grammy and #Taylor Swift eras in global trends, spinning so hard the servers coughed up 404 dinosaurs. Everyone asked the same thing: how does a 57-year-old woman, former dance teacher, 5 feet 4 inches, 54 kilograms, simply cease to exist between 2 concrete walls that have no doors? And why was Wang Yibo, global icon, motorcycle prodigy, the guy who once did a 360-degree backflip off a moving horse, seen 2 hours later sprinting barefoot across the same alley, screaming a word the subtitles still can't agree on? We triple-filtered the raw to AVI, sent it through AI interpolation, cranked the gamma until the pixels bled secrets. Frame 187 shows a heat bloom behind her left shoulder, human outline, taller, broader, temperature 6 degrees colder than living tissue. Frame 188. The bloom folds in half, like someone kneeling, and her shadow stretches to double length even though the alley light is fixed overhead. Frame 189. The dragon spill coffee matches the exact sigil carved on the jade pendant Yibo never takes off, the one he wore in UNIQ debut days, the one fans thought was just a stylistic Y. Zoom 400% and the pendant's negative space is a map of this very alley, down to the cracked cobblestone shaped like a heart. Coincidence? Keep watching to BY Sunrise. The studio lot was locked down harder than a Marvel spoiler set. Guards with laser pointers taped over phone lenses, crew forced to sign NDAs stamped with red thumbprint ink. Yet one gaffer slipped us a voice note through a fake food delivery account. Play it, metallic clanging, distant shouting, then Yibo's voice, raw, no auto-tune. She said if the cameras ever caught her, it meant the debt was due. I thought she was being dramatic. She kissed my forehead like she was checking for fever. Then she walked into the dark and took my birth time with her. Birth time. In Chinese metaphysics, that's more valuable than blood type. Give a master your exact Ziwei Do Shu chart and they can rewrite your fate like it's a Google document. Yibo's mom has spent 20 years refusing to tell any interviewer her son's birth minute, always laughing, he belongs to the world now, the stars shouldn't own him. But on that alley floor, scrawled in spilled coffee, are the 4 pillars: year, month, day, and the missing hour. She left it as graffiti that let's rewind to the night before Vanish Day. Call time was 11 PM for a rain-soaked fight scene that required Yibo to hang upside down from a wire rig 12 meters high. Mom usually watches from Video Village, wrapped in a crew jacket 3 sizes too big, cheering every cut like it's a soccer match. Instead she spent 2 hours walking the perimeter with a vintage compass, not the GPS app kind, the old brass type that wobbles like a drunk bee. Eyewitness says she stopped at 8 cardinal points, burying something the size of a SIM card. When security asked, she claimed it was wish soil from her hometown Luoyang. But when we scanned the ground after the disappearance, we dug up 8 micro SD cards, each labeled with a different dynasty: Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing, Republic, Modern, Future. On each card, a single audio file, Her heartbeat, slowed to 45 BPM, led under a Morse code that translates to return the name. Return the name. Back in 2019, Yibo changed his legal name from Wang Yibo to Wang Yibo. Looks identical, right? But the character in his given name was swapped from the variant, containing the radical for spear to the gentler meaning radiant. One stroke difference. In Taoist talisman lore, removing the spear removes the karmic weapon pointed at your soul. Fans celebrated it as aesthetic rebranding. Turns out it was a contractual clause with something older than labels. Now here's where the footage goes full Stranger Things. At 4:12 and 58 seconds AM, low-frequency rumble drops every camera below 60 Hz to black for exactly 0.3 seconds. In that blackout frame we enhanced a reflection in the coffee puddle, a palace roof tile floating upside down, even though there's no palace above, just sky. Overlay the infrared and you'll see a second pair of legs, Qing-style cloth shoes, bound feet size, walking backwards into her body the same instant she vanishes. It's like the past swapped places with the present, borrowing her to balance the books. Comment sections exploded with 3 dominant theories. Theory 1. Filial sacrifice. Yibo's meteoric rise wasn't just talent, it was a cosmic trade. Every endorsement, every dance break, every magazine cover siphons luck from maternal lifeline. Mom knew the quota was due, so she walked willingly into the ledger. Heartbreaking, poetic, very C-drama. Theory 2. Palace time rift. The set is a 1:1 replica of the Forbidden City's West Wing, built on top of actual palace foundations transported brick by brick in 1997. When actors perform imperial rituals with real jade artifacts, they accidentally reopen the Dragon Meridian, a ley line that harvests impossible mothers to keep emperors immortal. The camera rewinds to 4 hours 13 minutes and 6 seconds, the last full second before the glitch, yet this time we cranked the playback to an absurd 0.125 times, peeled back the compression layers, and caught what no Stan account ever noticed. The steam from her coffee coils into a tiny, perfect yin-yang that spins counterclockwise for exactly 8 frames, then snaps into the silhouette of a woman kneeling. That micro-silhouette lifts its head and appears to mouth run. Half a heartbeat later the timestamp stutters, the alley drains of color, and Ms. Wang is gone, leaving the cup upright, handle quivering like a tuning fork struck by an invisible hand. We ran the audio through a 96 kHz sampler and isolated a sub-bass thump at 19 Hz. Too low for human ears but powerful enough to rattle a spiderweb hanging on the lens. The web vibrates in Morse that spells gate open. 19 Hz is also the frequency rumored to trigger optical hallucinations in cathedrals and battlefields. In other words, the moment she vanishes, your brain is being hacked by a ghost note. Scroll back, you can literally see the spider scurry into a crack the instant the thump peaks, as if even arachnids know when reality glitches. Now watch the upper left corner, a security infrared strobe meant to deter raccoons fires every 30 seconds. At 4 hours 13 minutes and 7 seconds it fires twice in 1 second, impossible hardware behavior, casting 2 shadows of Ms. Wang. The first shadow walks away, the second shadow stays, waves, then folds into the pavement like spilled ink. Dual shadows mean 2 light sources, yet the alley lamp is fixed. Where did the second strobe come from? We overlaid a LiDAR scan leaked by a set dresser. There is a medieval bronze mirror embedded in the wall directly opposite the camera, camouflaged under faux moss. That mirror is angled to bounce the IR strobe back at the lens, creating a temporal echo, essentially a DIY time portal built from props lying around Qing drama storage. Someone staged this vanish with hardware older than electricity. Freeze on her smile, frame 189 enhanced. Enhance again. The pixels around her lips reveal a QR code only visible under blue channel isolation. Scan it and you land on a private SoundCloud track titled 413, uploaded 1 year ago by an account with 0 followers, no profile pic, and 1 tag, #return the hour. The track is 60 seconds of absolute silence except for a single inhale at 0:19 that sounds uncannily like Ms. Wang's voice caught on the gaffer's voice note. The waveform of that inhale draws the exact floor plan of Archive 9, the windowless building the van visited, when stretched on an oscilloscope. Fans think the inhale is just white noise. We printed it on a 3D printer and the plastic emerged shaped like the jade pendant negative space. Try telling us that's coincidence. Let's talk about the coffee dragon. We scraped residue from the cracked cobblestone, yes, we flew to Hengjian at 3 AM, gloves, evidence bags, the full nerd mission. Lab analysis, 2% Arabica, 98% Cinnamomum cassia harvested from trees that only grow on the graves of Tang Dynasty court musicians. Drinking that brew is basically sipping a 1,300-year-old lullaby. The spice molecules are volatile. Under UV they fluoresce into sheet music notation of a Guzheng piece called Mother Walks Backwards Through the Moon. When performed live, The song drops the room temperature by 0.4 degrees Celsius and triggers sleep paralysis in 12% of listeners. The musicians who recorded it, all orphaned at birth. No one knows who wrote the score. It appeared in a tomb whose entrance was sealed with a single jade spear. Yes, the same radical removed from Yibo's name. Replay the clip while listening to that Guzheng track and watch what happens. At the precise moment the music hits its first inverted chord, the CCTV timestamp jumps forward 2 seconds, exactly the length of the chord decay. It's as if the chord is the audible snap of time breaking. We layered all 8 Dynasty SD card heartbeats beneath the Guzheng and the alley footage syncs perfectly. Every beat matches a microstutter in the video frame rate. Essentially, Mom's heart is the metronome keeping the portal open. When the heart stops, the gate closes. On the footage her heartbeat monitor flatlines in the infrared overlay at 4 hours 13 minutes and 9 seconds, yet the audio heartbeat on the SD cards continues at 45 BPM. She left her pulse behind like a flashlight so Yibo could follow. Zoom on her eyes, frame 190. The reflection in her iris shows not the camera lens but a round doorway strung with red lanterns, the kind used in ghost marriages. Enhance the reflection and you can read the lantern characters, first son trades first tear. Yibo's birth was traumatic. Emergency C-section, no tears, no first cry. Nurses called him the silent prince. Folklore says if a child skips the birth cry, the mother owes the underworld one sob later in life. Ms. Wang's disappearance might be that cosmic sob finally collected, an audible tear debt paid in flesh. We interviewed the night janitor who mops the alley every dawn. He swears that after the vanish, the coffee dragon stain refused to evaporate for 3 days, even under blazing sun. On the 3rd night he scrubbed with industrial bleach. The dragon lifted off the stone like a decal, curled into the air, and dissolved into cinnamon-scented dust that set off the fire alarm. Security footage from that night shows the dust cloud drifting toward Archive 9, same route the van took, before vanishing into the ventilation grate. A mother's essence literally taking the express lane to the building that doesn't legally exist. Or here's the kicker. We synced every fan-taken phone clip from outside the gate and discovered a parallax angle no one has exploited. A 17-year-old girl live-streamed her own gasp in vertical 916. In the corner of her mirrored sunglasses you can see the alley wall reflected. At 4 hours 13 minutes and 8 seconds the wall brickwork rearranges itself, like sliding puzzle tiles, revealing a slit just wide enough for a human to step through, then snaps back. The entire event lasts 0.2 seconds, but in that blink the slit emits a pulse of rose gold light identical to the hue of Yibo official lightstick. The girl's stream chat scrolls too fast to notice. We isolated the frame and flipped it. Inside the slit silhouette stands a woman in modern sneakers holding a retro film camera, Ms. Wang's twin, only 30 years younger. She snaps a photo, blows a kiss, and the wall reseals. Either Mom duplicated herself across timelines, or the alley is a two-way mirror where past and future trade places. We handed the kiss blow frame to a lip reader. She mouths, "Tell him 413 is reversible." Reversible how? We built a crude pendulum from the jade pendant and the bronze mirror. When swung at 45 beats per minute, Mom's post-vanish heart rate, the pendulum rotates counterclockwise, the same direction as the coffee yin-yang. At the 19th swing the pendant string snaps and the jade lands handle up pointing exactly toward Luoyang, Yibo's hometown. 19 swings, 19th frame hallucination, 19th minute past 4, Mom hard-coded rescue coordinates into folklore physics so we did what any unhinged stan would. We flew to Luoyang at 4:13 a.m. local time, pendant in pocket, and followed the direction the broken string indicated. It led us to an abandoned dance studio, the same one where Ms. Wang taught ballet in the 80s. The mirrored wall was shattered in a perfect dragon shape.